like a memorable moment experience, like something that pops into your mind when you were making all these movies and doing different things? Like, what was like some of the experience, if you could go ahead and share something with us on like your most memorable moments?
Oh, that's a lot, sir. That's a tough question.
And this is work related, by the way. I'm gonna ask you separately like that, but work related.
Is there, do you want an answer from a specific project, sir, or just in general, just any?
One project that you did and you're like, wow, this was like this go down in history, my favorite moment, like favorite experience. It
Mm,
could be something that molded you into who you are today, or it could have been a bad experience that taught you something. It could be like the most fun thing or your favorite moment. You met someone that you just like a movie star, whatever it is that just kind of comes into your mind. I just want to know like stuff that nobody else wants to know. Like me, I'm like,
maybe I'll tell this story. I told my father this one. I actually haven't really talked about this one publicly,
okay.
but this was on the set of Marvel's Shang-Chi. And this is when we were doing the bus sequence.
Mm.
And the keep in mind, this is the very, very first movie I've ever worked on. I remember I was working with absolute legends, the late great Brad Allen, who I don't know if you've seen the Jackie Chan movie Gorgeous. He's the other guy he's fighting.
Okay.
And he was Jackie Chan's team member for all the Rush Hour movies,
Uh,
Shanghai Noon. He action directed the Kingsman movies, Star Wars Solo. He's an absolute legend. Rest in peace. He gave me an opportunity when no one really believed in me in the industry, and I remember it was a huge learning curve because they had been prepping this movie for 3 months before I even got there. And
mhm.
so they already have 3 months worth of fight scenes prepared. And now I'm this new kid. I come here. On top of that, they all speak Chinese. And so, in the heat of the moment, they're speaking Chinese. Oh, okay. Like Hong Kong styles, like super fast. Like
Uh-huh.
same with Korean style. Bye
Uh-huh.
bye.
Yeah,
Like, let's
yeah,
just
yeah.
go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. If you don't go
Right.
fast, they just kick your butt. Like,
Right.
so in the heat of the moment, they see another Asian person, then they're speaking to me in Chinese. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't understand you. So it was a very, very tough learning curve. And then I remember one day, the late great Brad Allen, he came up to me and he goes, Brandon, do you know how to do the splits? And I said, yes, sir, but the front splits not fully. He's like, you have 1 week to learn splits, and I'm testing you on wires today. And I said, yes, sir. And then next thing I know, I'm having to do this stunt, this wire stunt, and I've never done wires before. And they had built this they had, the Marvel movies, they have a whole different level of budget. They had two separate buses. They had one bus where we're shooting the inside. They had another bus. They built like this whole special robot rig. It looks like a transformer. A whole another bus that's like 30 feet in the air. And so I had to go up on there, and then it's the moment in Shang-Chi where Aquafina's character, Katie, turns the bus, and he's falling off of the bus. He's hanging on
Yeah.
to Razor Fist on the bus, and then he flips back on top of the bus as the bus turns. And I just remember I'm afraid of heights. My whole life, I've always been afraid of heights.
Oh,
Now I'm
wow.
like 30 feet in the air, and I'm having to flip on top of this bus. And I just remember at that moment, I've always been so scared of heights, but I just remember all of the years growing up training in Taekwondo with my father's guidance. I remember there's so many times where, oh, I'm so up, like telling my dad, I'm so scared to break this board or something like that. And then he always taught me in a very healthy way how to face fear right in the face. And
Mhm.
so I always try to remember where I came from. And I don't think I would have been able to do the stunt properly if it wasn't for all of those years of training and for all the disciplines we learned in Taekwondo and everything I learned from my father and my grandmasters. So yeah, it's kind of a long story, but
Wow. So it was like one of those moments where you just like, hey, it's all or nothing. Hey, they're making me do it. I gotta
Mm,
do this, and then you did it, and
easy.
you just killed it, man. Like I mean, I don't think anybody would ever know any of this stuff unless like you actually say it. And especially a lot of people these days think they just want easy and different things, and at the end of the day, overcoming these adversities and challenges and mental game, everything. I mean, I think they're gonna know that that's where it counts, and it takes massive amount of training physically and mentally. Wow, and I didn't know that. And